Hello, welcome to Yin Yoga, and today's theme is going to be all about gratitude. I recently became a grandmother in the last week, so I'm very grateful for that and all of the things. So we will bring that in as our intention today, but you're always free to bring in any intention that you want or need. Props today, I've got a bolster. If you do not have a bolster, any strong cushion, you can even stack up some blankets that are kind of folded this way in place of the bolster. We're just going to primarily use it for one pose. And we will use a strap at the end for some nice foot in the strap stretches. Any belt or stretchy band will also work as well. And I'm sitting on a blanket as too. You may not need as many blankets today, or you may not need anything, and that is also fine. So coming into a comfortable seat, kind of wiggle those sits bones down, being nice and tall, ears, shoulders, and hips in alignment. We'll zip up through that front body. And as you just begin to settle and soften in here, just take a moment and notice the breath. So is that breath calm, smooth, rapid, or choppy? Are you breathing with the rib cage, with a nice expansion? Do you breathe with the belly or the shoulders? And then from here, whenever you're ready, let's take a moment here and we'll come into a 4 by 7 by 8 breath. So we'll inhale for 4, hold 7, exhale for 8. If that's not the breath pattern that you need today, just breathe and it will all be okay. So taking a big exhale to prepare, let's inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return to normal breath and notice how you feel. Big inhale, we'll reach those arms up. And as we bring those hands down, just take that moment, setting that intention for gratitude. And while we're here, the first intention I'll give you on gratitude is I am grateful for what today will bring. I am grateful for what today will bring. We'll take that the arms up, big inhale. Exhale, we'll take that over to the side, trying to keep shoulders and hips in alignment and both hips down. Breathe into that rib cage. And then using your obliques, your side abs will come back up, go right into the other side, reaching over, breathing and expanding. And then coming back up. Good. And we'll reach up, gentle rotation. I'm going to go to my left first, rolling shoulders back, looking behind you. And then coming up, rotating to the other side, coming down, rolling shoulders back, gently looking a little bit more behind you. And coming up and coming center. Good. So this first pose that we're going to do is a supported side bend, So if you don't have a sturdy cushion or something like that, you can always put yoga blocks and then put, some blankets over top the yoga blocks so they're a little bit softer. I'm going to move this blanket out of the way here. Good. And as you come over, and I'm just going to fold this blanket in half, and I'll use it as an example once I come over here. Good. Some of you might even want a little bit of a neck or head pillow here. So we're going to do this for 2 minutes on each side. So I'm really close to my bolster. Your knees can be bent, they can be long. That part doesn't matter. But I'm just going to fold over here. I want my shoulder and arm to come out of here. Good. And so I can support my head here if needed. I can also reach this arm nice and long and the top arm over top. I can always reach my body long here. Just kind of find it where you need it the most. There it goes. And just breathe and expand. So if you cough like I just did, we hold a lot in our heart chakra, and this is a pose that gets into that heart chakra, that middle section here. So coughing is just your body releasing what it no longer needs. Just allow the prop to support you. I am grateful for what today will bring. Expansion of the breath. Stay with the breath. Breathe and release. And then from here, good. And whatever way that's best for you, I'm just going to take my top hand to my bolster and help press myself up. And when I come up nice and slowly, I don't want any jerky or fast movements. And if you need to sit here for just a moment before going to the other side, I'm going to encourage you to do so. And maybe even if you don't need that, just take a moment and just notice how you feel from the side that you were lying on and the other side that you weren't. So I feel more open and a little bit more relaxed on the side. I feel less of that on this side in some ways. But then I also feel more open on this side in other ways and not as much open on this side. So just kind of feel what you feel. There's no wrong answers unless it's pain. We don't want that. So I'm going to just scoot over then to the other side. And I don't need this as a neck pillow, so I'm just going to put this to the side. It's just an example anyway. Good. Pulling in my bolster. Timer. And then once you're ready, good. We're just going to come over. Now, if you are using a bolster and you're someone with a longer torso, you can always put a blanket or two on top of that bolster so that you can get a little bit more of an opening there if that's something that you need. The top arm coming over is not a requirement. It's just what feels good to me right now. Both legs long are not a requirement. It's just what feels good to me now. To always have bent knees, or even just a long top leg and bent bottom knee. Now, I am overflowing with happiness, joy, and gratitude. I am overflowing with happiness, joy, and gratitude. Surprised that didn't happen sooner, but I will take that relief. And as you breathe, you still want to find some expansion. So we're trying to get into the intercostal muscles here in between each rib. And always note, if for whatever reason you need to come out of something before I'm cueing it, your body is your best guide, your best teacher. Honor what your body tells you and come out of something when it is no longer serving you. So from here, just like before, you want to gently come out of here in the way that's best for your body. And then maybe just taking a moment here and just notice how you feel from one side to the other. So you might notice, more of an opening on one side to the other, kind of depending on your own body. But hopefully now you also feel a little bit more balanced than we did when the last time we set up. So from here, we're going to take this into a Sphinx pose. We'll work on a little bit of light extension. So I'm going to move my bolster out of the way here. Good. Now, there are some people, depending on you, and you may have to kind of play with this a little bit, that do better in Sphinx if you have just a little bit of a lift in the pelvis. So if I'm undoing my blanket, and it doesn't have to be this, you can always, different people need different things. It can always, be this thickness as well. If you're going to try that, you want to come far enough forward, maybe the edge of your pelvis is right on the edge of that fold of the blanket. And I actually do a little bit better when I have it. So I'm using it today. Good. And then once you're there, remember that's completely optional. Legs are going to be about hip width apart. And we're going to do this one for 3 minutes. Good. And so I'm going to take my hands a little forward and to the side of the shoulder, and my elbows are going to come down. Good. I'm going to zip up that front body. And then on an inhale, I'm going to press into my hands and shoulders and elbows and forearms and come up. And you don't have to come up, high as possible. You can just come to where you can come. Okay. And those of you that are more advanced in your practice and are looking for something just a little bit more robust maybe today, feel free to come all the way up into seal if that is appropriate for your body. I'm going to be in Sphinx today, though. And wherever you get to, you want the shoulders to be away from the ears. Belly button is in. And we don't want to feel any crunching sensations in the low back. So if we feel that we've come too high, how do you know if you're crunching your back? Well, if it feels like it's crunching, it's crunching. So very easy to tell. And while we're here, maybe we'll come into some neck stretches here. So maybe very gently, if you would like, just take that chin forward, letting gravity do some of the stretching and maybe just coming back up. You can still kind of side bend that neck from side to side here. You can look to the left. You can look to the right. And just kind of finding, you can do some circles. You find a particularly spot that's a little more special than the others, feel free to hang out there longer. So just a posture check here, shoulders away from the ears, belly button is in. Good. So going in back into that gratefulness, what about I am grateful for who I am. I am grateful for who I am. And if you're squeezing the glutes, like I just found myself doing, maybe release through there. And now with about the final 30 minutes left, if you're following me in Sphinx, this won't work very well in Steel, but if you're following me in Sphinx, could you energetically take the chest a little bit more forward and bring the elbows more towards the waist, even though the elbows won't. If this causes something uncomfortable, pain or crunching in the spine, then back off. Yeah. And then from here, whether you took Seal or Sphinx, come all the way down, make a little recovery pillow with your hands, and maybe just do a little gentle swaying of the hips. And then staying here for a little bit longer if this feels good to you. Otherwise, we're going to come into a child's pose. I'm going to give you two child's pose for different bodies. If forward flexion is not something good that's for your body, then I want you to do with a child's pose where you can keep a nice long back here. Okay, so you're keeping the back in extension. If flexion is appropriate for your spine, then you can come into a more traditional child's pose. Good. Where maybe you take your forehead here, the top of the head, to a bolster, a folded blanket, hands back by the ankles, and just come here. And now you've got a little bit of rounding there. So find the child's pose that's appropriate for your body, or would be appropriate for your body for the next couple minutes. And if you're following me, just let the shoulders relax. Find your breath. Release to the face. What are you grateful for today? And then from here, wherever you went, hands come under the shoulders, and you want to gently and slowly press yourself up from there. And just take a moment, notice how you feel. Okay, take a breath. And then we're going to take this into dragonfly, also known as a wide leg forward fold. We'll get into the hips just a little bit here. I want to sit up on a blanket for that, a folded blanket. So I'm going to refold this blanket. Oops, I didn't mean to pull my base blanket. And this is one that we're going to hold for about 3 minutes here today. So remember, you want to be able to give your body space to open. So if you're taking your legs, you don't want to come widest as possible. Here's my widest as possible. I'm going to come in just a little bit less than that. Okay. And my toes, knees, and hips are going to face the ceiling. Now, different things for different people. Again, if you've got really tight hamstrings or tight hips and you need to keep your knees bent, it's okay to put something under there so that they stay bent and it's not something you have to think about it. You can always have your bolster in front of you if you want to do it a little bit more restorative. But otherwise, from here, big inhale and reach. Exhale, nice and long from the hip, long back from the hip. When you can come no more, good. Take your hands down, and this is going to be your starting point. And as you become more open, then feel free to kind of walk the hands forward, keeping that long back as you deepen into the pose when appropriate. And I want to go back to my breath. I still want to expand. About today, I am bringing in love and joy to ease my day. Today, I am bringing in love and joy to ease my day. We can all be grateful for a day with more ease. Now, once you feel yourself wanting to go deeper, wanting to sink deeper, you want to try that on an exhale. On an exhale. You don't want to go to your max. You just, maybe just a little teeny tiny bit. Once your body's used to it, maybe you go just a little bit more. And really get into the rib cage. So kind of envision a medical provider placing a stethoscope on your back and they're asking you to breathe deep. That's kind of where you want to breathe. You want to breathe into that back body that helps you get into the rib cage. Shoulders away from the ears. Spine is long. Squeeze through the face. I am grateful. Yeah. Then you want to gently walk your hands up out of there, taking the fingers behind the backs of the knees, gently bringing them up. And if it would feel good to you to take your hands behind you for a moment and just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle side to side, let your body get a nice windshield wiper. And so from here, we're going to go into cat pulling tail, cat pulling tail. So we're going to make sure that this is out of my way here. So there's different ways that you can get into this, and I will always encourage you to take the way that is best for your body. But I'm going to show you this kind of from a different angle, a more ladylike angle. So well, you know. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come onto my back. And once I come onto my back, you can bring your knees up here. They can also be grounded on the floor, but I'm going to bring them together. And then as I do that, I'm just going to let them go for this first one. I'm just letting them come to my right side. So my spine is in a twist here. And so now what I'm going to do, and maybe you can kind of just move the knees down a little bit. I'm going to let my bottom leg, which happens to be my right, stay right here. And then my top leg, which happens to be my left. I'm going to keep that knee bend, but I'm going to move it towards the left. And for some of you, this is going to be enough, okay? And others, maybe you can reach and grab your pants, that ankle, or that foot, okay? So now you're in a spinal twist, and you're in a bit of a quad stretch on that top leg side. And we're only going to do this one for a couple minutes each side. But this is cat pulling the tail. So this is actually, let me show you one other way. This is one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is you can roll completely on your side and have an arm out. Leave the bottom leg where it is, kind of grab the top, and then just kind of take it back if you want to. So there's different ways you can get into it based on what your body needs. And other than practicing this earlier this morning, I haven't done this one in a while, admittedly, and I am feeling a wonderful quad stretch on that left side. Very needed quad stretch on that left side. Good. So belly button is in nice and tight. I've also seen this done with the legs reversed. I've seen it done with the top leg stays forward and then the bottom leg moves back. So that might be another way that you could try this one. But whatever way you try it on this side, you'll want to try and do it the same way on the other side so you're balanced. Good, and my hips just relaxed. That feels good too. Remember, come out of here early if you need. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to release that top leg. I'm going to come back over, and I'm going to come back to center. Good. And then before going to the other side, I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider apart. I'm going to go into a windshield wiper again. Just trying to let everything kind of settle. And then once ready, again, you can keep your feet grounded on the floor, twisting to the left. You can come up this way and twist to the left, kind of find it where you need to find it. And then you can take the top leg back, bottom leg stays here, go here, or you can leave the top leg there and grab the bottom leg and open up, just kind of find it the way you need to find it. This was the way I did it on the other side. I'm going to do that here. Breathe, belly button is in. And then I'll give you a question to ponder. I've given you some affirmations, but I'll give you a question. How can I practice more gratitude today? How can I practice more gratitude today? You can do that through prayer. You can write in a journal a few things that you're grateful for. You can tell someone thank you. Right. And then from here, you want to carefully come out, bringing the legs back together. Good. We'll come back to center. Good. Taking the feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Get a nice little windshield wiper going here. And notice how you feel. I certainly feel a lot more open than I did before I started those. And then from here, good. Now I'm just going to kind of shift over, but we're going to stay on our back. We're going to grab our strap. Okay, and we're going to go into some stretching here. Now this series that we're going to do, we're going to hold these for 45 seconds. So apologies here as I get 45 seconds going. And we'll try to do this one for each stretch here. But I love this stretch. It's great for the hips. It's great for the low back. It's great for the nervous system. So taking your strap, we will start. Nope, hopefully you're not tangled up here. We will start with the right foot and the right strap. Right foot, right strap. Good. And then from here, good, you're just going to gently find a grip that suits you. Your other leg can be longer bent. I'm just going to gently bring that in towards the face and a micro bend in the knee. And we'll do this one for 45 seconds. So stretching is okay. A little bit of shaking is okay. Pain, numbness, tingling, burning or not. Mm-hmm. I am grateful for the opportunities this new day brings me. I am grateful for the opportunities this new day brings me. Good. So gently back off. Good. Take both straps into the right hand. Belly button is in. Both hips are grounded. Right leg's going to go out to the right. Wiggle around, find your best spot. 45 seconds. Remember, you want your opposite hip to be grounded, and that opposite knee can bend at any time. Good. We'll come back up. Now on this next one, we're just going to keep this at a 45-degree angle. We're going to do a different twist here in a moment, but you can take both pieces of strap into the left hand. Grab my timer. Good. And as you arc over, just kind of wiggle around and find your best spot. It may not be directly over. And relaxing through the face. Good. We'll come back up. Remove that strap for a moment. We're going to take this into a figure four stretch and then a figure four twist. So from here, good. If this is where you need to be for your figure four, you can stay or you can bring it in. You can thread it through. Find yours. It's okay to rock it. My body really wants to shake here today. Yeah. And so then from here, good. Two options for your twist. You can stay right here in figure four and take a figure four twist to the left, or you can come into a basic tabletop position and take that over to the left. So find the one that works best for your body and go there. Some people like one better than others. And just breathe. How about I am grateful for the abundance of blessings in my life. I am grateful for the abundance of blessings in my life. My grandson is 1 week old today, and he is a true blessing, as are both of his parents. And then from here, in the way that's best for you to come out, you can carefully come out, back to center. You can undo the legs, get a windshield wiper if that would feel good. And we're going to take that all to the other side. So I'm going to grab my strap again. We'll take the left foot into the strap. Good. Maybe a piece of the strap in each hand, a micro bend in the knee. This knee can be bent or long. Good. And we'll take it here. And we'll stretch for 45 seconds. And remember, if 15 seconds is all you can do, then that's fine too. It took me a while to build up to 45. Belly is still in here. The abdominal engagement. Oh, and we're probably at 45 seconds. This went up to a minute 45 for some reason. We don't want that. Apologies. But in the meantime, you set yourself up for the other side. So both pieces of the strap will go into the left hand. And then your other knee can be bent or long. And we're going to take that leg out to the left and maybe wiggle around to find your best spot. Maybe noticing now which side is easier for you to do this series than the other. And from here, maybe name a couple things different from the first time that you are grateful for. We're all grateful for more than one thing for sure. Good. Then we'll gently bring that leg back up. Good. Okay. So switching up the hands, remember we're just going to stay at the 45-ish degrees. Kind of arc that over the body, wiggle around. The right hand has the strap. We'll go here for 45 seconds. About I open myself up to gratitude so I can open myself up to abundance. We'll gently bring that foot back in. We will remove the strap. Yeah, and we'll take this into figure 4 on the left side here. So again, this might be where you stay. You're welcome to bring it in and hold. You can bind here, find what you need. Always coming back to the breath. You can rock your figure 4 here if that would feel good to you. And we'll gently release. So again, choose your twist that feels good to you. You can stay in figure 4, do figure 4 twist. You can come back to tabletop, doing a basic supine twist. Pick what feels good to you. And go there and breathe and expand. So I just said something about opening up to gratitude and abundance. What about when I expand my gratitude? I expand my abundance. Good. And then from here, we'll gently come back in. You can bring knees into the chest. You can take the feet down and come into another windshield wiper again. We're going to come into Shavasana from here. So because my bolster happens to be out, I'm just going to use it, kind of prop up my legs here. My favorite Shavasana position. Good. And then get yourself in a position and noticing you can always do this on your belly or your side if needed. Is get yourself to a point where You can kind of sink in a little bit and not much, if a lot of fidgeting around. And then go back and start that 4-7-8 breath again, inhaling for 4, holding for 7, exhaling for 8. And the last thought I'll give you is an attitude of gratitude brings me closer to my desires. An attitude of gratitude brings me closer to my desires. And for a moment, start to take some deeper breaths, maybe some more normal breath as you start to come back. Choosing stillness, maybe choosing to wiggle the fingers and the toes, maybe gently taking the head and neck from side to side. And then choosing stillness or bringing knees into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body grounded, or maybe you want to lift it up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness, removing any props out of the way if you used any today. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, reaching from fingertips to toes, full body stretch, pointing and flexing through the feet, bending and stretching through the hands, and maybe twirling them, the wrists and the hands in one direction and then in the other. And then whenever you're ready, bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that feels best for you in this moment, taking all the time that you need, or when you're ready, lifting yourself up to that comfortable position. Take your time to get there. We've been on our back for a while. And then once there, finding a nice tall spine, noticing how you feel. Maybe more grateful, more at ease, more calm. Palms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Taking the palms up overhead. And as we bring them down, drop the thumbs at the forehead for good and true thoughts. To the lips for good and kind words. And to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, season ahead. Thank you so much. Namaste.